Good morning, guys. It is a new day and we are going to plant some pansies today. On my way home from work yesterday, I stopped by Wilson's and I bought 6 flats of pansies. Since all my annuals are all gone from this hard frost, actually we got an early frost this year. Last year I think it was after Thanksgiving, but you know, we're just going to go with it. So got rid of all those annuals and I'm planting some gorgeous pansies. Now I was careful to plan out what color of pansies I was going to put out into these gardens because I wanted to contrast them really well with all the tulips I'm going to plant in December. So I'm going to have a gorgeous spring show for you with all these gorgeous tulips and pansies, and I hope they correlate really well together. So I'm just going to plant this little small strip right here of pansies, and I've got yellow on this side, as you can see, because I'm going to have red, purple, and yellow tulips on this side. So I'll show the picture of all the tulips I'm going to plant on this side, but I thought these gorgeous yellow pansies would look really pretty. Let me show you. So this is the color of pansies that I'm going to put in this side garden. I'm on my skinny side garden and it's called Colossus Yellow. And I believe the Colosso means it's just a really big pansy. The bloom is really big. Large, vibrant blooms add early and late season color to the garden or container. Now I know some of you can't plant pansies right now, that it's not really beneficial for you until early spring, but for us, I guess we're just super lucky in this zone. I'm really actually very grateful, and I can plant them here in the fall. Now they'll, like, when they get frozen, we'll just like kind of leave them alone, and then when they thaw out during the day, then they just pop right back up. So we're just super lucky. But here you go. Look how gorgeous that bloom is. So it's going to add very vibrant color over here, and I'm going to have lots of vibrant color over here because, like I said, I'm going to have yellow, purples, and reds on this side when I plant my tulips. So pretty excited. So actually I was going to come out here, I didn't have any makeup on, and I had this little cute hat on, and I was just kind of go with it, and I looked in the mirror and I'm like, oh no, I can't do that to you guys. So I don't wear much makeup, but I just threw a little bit on, and I really like the OG product, OGEE, for the just sculpting. I guess that's what it's called. Sculpting, where you just put it on your cheeks and a little bit on your nose. Is that what it's called? Not sure. Sculpting. That doesn't sound right. But anyways, that's what I did this morning. So I'm going to use the power planter this morning, and I'm going to go ahead and plant up a flat with you, and I'm going to like just time and see how long it takes me to plant up one flat, which I think it's a pretty big flat. It's more than 24. I'll count them and let you know how long it's going to take me to plant up a flat of these. And I'm actually going to throw some biotone in there, and the reason why I'm going to put biotone in with it is that it's just extra food for them, and they are more vigorous and they fill out thicker. So it's not necessary, but they like it. All right, so these are my what are they called? Blue by Mighty Volvulus, and I just cut these back. So I'm going to leave these in the ground right here, and I'm going to plant, since they're going to be small and they're not going to put on any new growth until it starts to warm up next spring, I'm going to plant these gorgeous pansies in between them, and then that way I have lots of room for my tulips back here. So that's what my plan is. So I've got 3, and I was going to kind of plant 2 back here and 1 here. So I already kind of got them laid out, and this is my power planter auger right here. Love this tool, and I have this in the description as well if you want to purchase your own. And I do love this drill that it comes with. This is the DeWalt drill, and this auger is the 3-inch auger, the width right here, and I believe it's 28 inches long. So yeah, love it, get you one. All right, so I'm just going to kind of move some of the mulch back here where I want to plant the holes. think so. I guess I should have moved these back before I put them in that space. So I'm gonna try to make it pretty even here. My holes. I think planting in threes makes it more appealing and gives you lots more of color when you plant 3 in one area. And when you do them in a triangle, they look really well too. It is 7 minutes for me to drill those holes. And now I'm going to put my bitone in the holes. Too much there. All right, bitone in. Now I'm just going to go ahead and plant all these gorgeous plants. Bitone is good for the roots, so they help the roots to be happy. So if you have happy roots, you have happy plants, right? I do want to keep one of my tags. That way I can remember what type of pansy this is, so I can tell you guys when I have a garden tour, because I'm forgetful. All right, 28 of these pansies that were in a flat, plus I put 4 up in my front because some of my, what were they called? They weren't coleus. Shoot. Think of the name and throw it up on the screen, but anyways, the frost got those, so I put 4 of these yellow pansies up in my front pot, and I'll show you that. But anyways, I got one more. All right, so now it is 12 minutes and 59 seconds, and I've got all the pansies in. And I'm gonna go back with my land and seed and just throw some compost on there. This is not, I brought my scissors over here. Let me go get my scissors. Now I got my land and seed at Wilson's Nursery. You can buy it online too. Now this is not necessary as well, but like I said, it helps my gardens. It gives them the nutrients that all the plants took out this past summer. It looks nice, for one. You don't have to use land and seed. You can use some kind of compost, cheap compost. The cheapest compost that I have found that I like just as well is the Black Cow. And I always have to get that at Lowe's, so I don't know where you would have to get that at. But if I can get my hands on this compost here, I really like it. So I know Laura with Garden Answer uses this. It's a Spoma product. And it's got, I don't know what it has in it. Lobster and crab meal. All natural compost for vegetables, flowers, trees, and shrubs. But like I said, since we do have, I call it poor soil. Clay has poor soil, but it's good too. Like it's got a lot of nutrients in it as well. So it's, there's my mouth. So it's not all bad. if I'm gonna spend the money on all these flowers, then I might as well make them look their best. I had so many annuals in here and they just took so much out of the ground, so you gotta give it back. Okay, so now that adds 3 more minutes. So what? 16 minutes. So I was able to put 28 pansies in the ground with my power planter. I added biotone and I top dressed it with my land and seed compost, and I don't think that's bad. So 16 minutes for a half of a garden bed here. So I've got lots more pansies to put into the ground. I'm going to show you after I plant them. I'll give you like a little tour. And then I cleaned out my raised bed. I think you saw me. I had a little bit of video on that where I cleaned it all out, and that was a big chore. And I bought my land and seed to top dress that, and I'm going to put a little bit of the biotone in there. And so do you remember last year when I said that I was going to do my experiment on my tulips that I had in the very front, those gorgeous big giant tulips? Well, anyways, I pulled them all out of the ground. I cut the, what did I do? I pulled them all out of the ground. Then I let them soak up in the sun until they dried up. Then I cut them off, put them in a storage area. Now I got to put those bulbs into the refrigerator to give them a cool period. And that's what I'm going to put in my raised garden bed, just to see if I can recreate the cooling period and everything that when you buy a bulb, that's how they do it. So I'm going to see if I can, it was an experiment pretty much. And I'm babbling, blah, 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 blah. Anyways, so I'm going to try to create to see if I can get the gorgeous blooms that we have when they send us the tulips, because a lot of times they say that they only just last 1 year. Some tulips will perennialize and come back each year, but sometimes you're not going to get the same beautiful effect. You might have the foliage come back up, but you're not going to have like the beautiful bloom. So that is a project that we are going just to see how it works. So I do need to go get those in the refrigerator because they're still in my cabinet, and put those in the refrigerator, and they're going to probably stay in there for 8 weeks. And then I'm going to plant them in my above ground raised bed. And in addition to the Espoma biotone, I'll probably add some bulb tone too, and that's from Espoma as well. So I'll see you in a minute. So isn't it crazy that it's so cold in the morning and so warm in the afternoon? So it's noontime and I had to shed that sweatshirt off. So I thought I'd tackle, do you see what I got behind me? This redbud. I had it in this pot for 2 years, and it was a teeny tiny little seedling, and I thought, you know, I got a mess. So anyways, one of my friends that belongs to the club, the gardening club that I belong to, her husband likes to, what do you call it? Replant stuff or propagate. Don't you have a hard time with my words, you guys? So anyways, he gave me this Chinese redbud right here. So it's a white one. And he had some of these in his garden, and he had like a little seedling, and I put it in this pot right here 2 years ago just to see what it would do. Well, guess what? I've got a mess, and I didn't realize that I would have such a mess. You guys, let me turn the camera around. So I was trying to pull this pot up, and look what I got myself into. So I couldn't even hardly get this out of the ground because look what the roots did at the very bottom of the pot. And then I had to pull all these up out of the ground. I guess I should have just maybe kept it there and broke the pot instead of disturbing these roots. I don't know, what would you guys done? So I do know that I'm going to have to come and prune some of these limbs off to make it like a higher canopy, but I honestly thought all the roots would still be in there. I knew that some of it would have gone through this hole, but not that much, you guys. Look, I had to cut some of the roots off. So it's very happy in this spot. And I don't know. I'm at loss of words right now. There's no way that I can get this pot out and save these roots. So I'm probably gonna have to break the pot which I'm okay with. It's not gonna hurt my feelings because right now, this tree is probably worth more than that pot. I just didn't realize I'd be in this big of a mess, or I would have replanted it last year. So, oh my gosh. Yeah, I keep talking about it. Now that's what I got. I'm not gonna break this by myself. I'm gonna ask my husband to break it. That's why I'm pruning my boxwoods. These are the Sprinter boxwoods, by the way. I've got this redbud soaking. So I'm going to try to give these roots a really good soak up the water for about 2 hours, and I cut it back by a half or so, so it will create energy into the roots and not trying to produce more leaves this winter. So what my main interest is to get these roots regrowing again after I disturb them. So anyways, like I have a double trunk here, and I thought I might split it, but I cut the roots off, the branches off here. So hopefully I'll have some more branches grow up this way, or if not, I'll just come back and cut it all the way back here if I don't like it. But that's what I ended up with. So I hope it's going to be a gorgeous tree. If not, I don't have any investment in it other than my clay pot that I broke. So this is what the boxwoods are looking like. These are the Sprinter boxwoods from Proven Winners, and I got about half of them pruned back already. As you can see, they just look a little neater, and they actually will encourage the growth on the sides once you cut the top off as well. So I need to still get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 more to be done. And then these are what the pansies are looking like. Like I said, I won't be putting my tulips in until December. And then I'm not happy with any of this. Like, they're starting to look better, but I'm gonna replant these somewhere else because I just don't like the look. I thought that I would, and that was what I was going for on this side of the garden, was to make it my shade garden, but actually I get a lot of sun here until about 12 or 1, and then even later in the season, even more sun. So changed my mind. So I've got lots of new shady areas in my cottage garden, and all of these right here are gonna go in there. And I may keep that heuchera there. That's a really, really pretty heuchera. So I wouldn't mind like doing a whole hedge of that heuchera there. I think that would be pretty. I like that so far, and I like the sun hosta too. So I'm not sure which one that I want to do. Maybe I can alternate them. Do a heuchera and a sun hosta if I can ever get my hands on them. And by the way, the bees are loving this yellow ferrifugum. I think that's how you say it. I need to get me a tag so I can remember. I'm gonna do that today. I'll get me a tag, but look at all the little pollinators on this one. And it's November, you guys, so I still have blooms that are still loving. Okay, so I got this redbud in the ground and I got it all pruned up. So I've heard that if you prune it back by 1/3 or 1/2, that it will put the energy into the root system there. So I showed you on video how I use my power planter auger to plant a very big hole. I just planted in 3 different spots and wished it all up, and I put biotone and my compost in there. And then I hope this tree's going to be happy. So it should be happier than what it was. Bless its heart. So that is the little red bud that I've talked about for the last 2 years to get it in the ground. And it's in there. Found a friend in my flowers, my pansies. You see? He's holding on for dear life. We'll put him over here. Jumped away. Stay in there. Oop. Alright, you can turn it off. Okay, so this is the front landscape right here in the front yard, and these are the row of pansies that I chose for the very front landscape. And these are like a lilac blend. I have a picture in here somewhere, but look how pretty this blend is right here. So the reason why I have them in the very front is that I'm going to put tulips back here. So my tulips that I chose for this area are going to be yellow, white, and a cream color. And then there's another smaller little tulip that's going to be small in the front here that's lilac. So I thought these colors would be really pretty with the lilac and the yellow and the cream, since it kind of all blends in together there. I thought it was a gorgeous blend. And I'm trying to find the tag. So can you see that right there? Delta Premium Lavender Blue Shades Pansy. And that's a different blend back there that I'm going to share with you just a second. So let's just take a look at these right here. So I've got 2 flats up in this area right here. So that's all I did was use my power planter auger, and I dug the holes as close as I could, and then I got these pansies as close as I could. And these little yellow centers right there are going to look really pretty with the yellow tulips that I have chosen for the front here. The hardest decision is what color of tulips do I want, because there's so many pretty ones, and what color of pansies do I want, because there's so many pretty ones. You have so much to choose from, it makes it hard to choose. And this is what the front looks at a distance right here. So I like to plant in masses because it gives you lots of color. So if you want lots of color, then you need to plant lots of plants to get lots of blooms, if that makes any sense. There's the front yard landscaping. And then let me share with you another type of tulip that I got for the side. This is going to be on the west side garden. And on the west side garden, I'm going to have, the tulips are going to be like pink and peach. And there is the tag for that, Delta Pink Shades. And I'll throw the tulips up for that one. And that's going to go on the west side garden. So that's going to have to wait till tomorrow to be planted, because I've exhausted myself today. I'm tired, and there's a lot to do on the west side garden. So I might do a whole video of just nothing but that. I've got perennials over there. So this is the west side garden, and I've got lots of things that need to come up where the frost have completely gotten them, like this lantana right here. So you could see where it got some of it and then didn't get some of that. But all this lantana is going to be pulled up. Some people say, oh, leave it because it does come back for our zone, which I understand. Some of it I'm going to leave in the cottage garden, but this area right here, I want to have a whole display of nothing but pansies and tulips all the way down here. So that is my plan. So there's lots of stuff to do over here, like getting all this lantana up, and I need to figure out what needs to be cut back and what can't be cut back. Like this tough stuff hydrangea right there, like all that new foliage right there got zapped. So I don't know if it's time to prune that yet or not, if I can go ahead and prune it. If it grows on new wood, then I can prune it. If it grows on old wood, I cannot. So if you're not sure, make sure you look up, because if it grows on old wood and you cut your blooms off now, then you won't have blooms. I said that all wrong because I'm tired. If this grows on old wood, then you don't want to prune it right now, because then you'll cut your blooms off for next year. If this grows on old and new wood, then I can prune it back. That's what I meant to say. So all of this is going, and that's where I'm going to put the pansies and tulips on this west side garden. So the last thing that I want to talk about before I end this video are these tulips. So these are the tulips that I had last year, and I'll throw a picture of what they looked like last year. And you can see that they're still pretty firm and really, really healthy. So this was, I think I had 300 tulips in the very front. So I dug up as many as I could. I don't think I have 300 right here. But anyways, they look really healthy. They've been in this container right here, this dark area, for most of the summer. So I'm gonna get these out of this and put them in this paper bag right here. And then I'm gonna stick them in that refrigerator right there. So let me show you where all my other bulbs are chilling currently. Right by the beer, right? Haha. So these are all the tulips that are chilling that I got from Color Blends, and I've already talked about all of that. And actually I'll review and remind you what I've already gotten. Those are the Lemony Remedy tulips. These are the ones that I'm going to put in the front of the pansies that I just showed you. So I'll show that as well in my pictures when I'm showing the pansies on my video. So we're going to close it up. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope I gave you some inspiration today. So the west side garden, we're going to do one another day. I'm going to show that in a just brand new video, and we'll plant all those pansies up and get all those perennials pulled up as well. Not perennials, annuals, because the lantana are technically annuals, even though they're perennials for me, which I'm going to treat them as annuals on that side of the garden. But I did keep some on my cottage garden, and I just need to prune those all the way back. And I'll show you tomorrow how I'm going to do that. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. If you want more blooms like you've seen today, make sure you subscribe. You only have to subscribe one time. If it's red, hit that button. If it says subscribed and it's white, you do not have to subscribe. Again, don't unsubscribe me, please. Anyways, make sure you share on Facebook and Instagram for me, and share my videos. That way you can help me grow. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.